You know what's something that's guaranteed to put a smile on your face and to make you happy if you're having an extremely bad day? And that is laughing at someone else make a fool of themselves for absolutely no reason. And today, we have a real example of that. We are talking about someone who is extremely desperate to get some attention and is willing to do anything just to get a little bit more internet points and just have people talk about them. Which isn't really that surprising. Nowadays, the internet is filled to the brim with people who just try to do anything just to get a little bit of attention, and they don't even care if they make themselves look like a fool. If it means that more people are talking about them, it's a win in their book. But this guy didn't even win at all. He did absolutely everything wrong, and the only thing that he got is people laughing at him and making fun of him. Not so long ago, there was a big event known as Gamescom, and this is something extremely big that a lot of people like to look in because literally they have very good game announcements, or if they don't have that, you get updates on games that we already know that's gonna release later on in the year. And this year, it ended up being hosted by Jeff Keighley, the person who ended up hosting the Game Awards. But sadly, when he was talking about Starfield, he ended up getting interrupted by someone.
Start playing it. Don't be jealous. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, guys. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Really disappointed.
Obviously, this guy is trying to copy the same thing that the Game Awards kid ended up doing last year, where he ended up walking on stage when they were announcing the Game of the Year and ended up saying something. He clearly wants to do that, but he didn't succeed at all. There are so much things wrong with this video, so let me go and talk about it. One is the way how he ended up going on stage. When he stand up and started walking, he had so much confidence. He was probably thinking that he was going to do the coolest thing in his whole life. Absolutely everyone is going to go and love it. You can see the amount of personality in that walk. He's standing up straight just for him to go on stage and absolutely collapse. Everything that he built up for just failed immediately. It's like when you fight the final boss and you think you're prepared, just for you to realize that you're drastically under-leveled and you get one shot. That's basically what he did. And then he tries to talk about GTA 6 into the mic, but it does not work at all. Most people, when this ended up happening live, had absolutely no idea what he was talking about, because Jeff ended up doing an amazing job of walking away so people were not able to hear him at all. So most people had no clue what he was talking about when he ended up doing this stunt, and we only ended up learning after this event happened and then everyone was going and clipping it and talking about it. Then we knew that he was talking about GTA 6. And also the cameraman did an extremely good job of changing the camera, so a lot of people weren't even able to see his face either. Like when the Game Awards kid ended up walking on stage, it was 100% front and centered. The camera ended up staying on him for a good period of time. A lot of people were able to see what he looks like and was able to recognize his face. He wasn't even able to get that luxury because the camera moved immediately, and what makes this situation even worse is that he didn't even go alone. Someone else ended up coming with him. One of his friends tried to do the exact same thing, but he got it even worse. Most people didn't even realize that he even came, so he was literally a ghost or like a secret boss that absolutely no one wants to go and find. And he also ended up wearing a shirt of like everything that he's on, trying to like market himself, and no one was able to see him. And plus the image is so blurry, you can't even see what his shirt was even saying. So he just 100% failed. And to make this situation even more worse, yes, I don't even know how that's even possible, the crowd reaction wasn't even good at all. No one was confused. All people did was boo and gave him a thumbs down and calling him a loser and making fun of him as he's on stage, and then he gets the walk of shame away. This stunt absolutely failed. It collapsed in literally the worst way possible. And to make it even worse, he ended up getting a disappointed speech by Jeff Keighley. Literally sounds like a dad when you do something extremely bad and like break something in the house and you're sitting there like, wow, how could you go and do something like this? I had so much expectations in you. And he was just talking about how disappointed he was, and to make this situation even more worse for this guy, he didn't even get nothing. Like when the Game Awards kid ended up doing that, he actually was able to start a little online presence. A lot of people were talking about him and seeing what he was doing, even though most of the people who were following him were just doing it for hate. They were hate watching them. But for people like him who are clout goblins, they don't really care what kind of attention it is. As long as people are talking about them, they are extremely happy. So he ended up getting a win, and he was kind of well known for just walking into like live streamers event and talking to them and trying to bother them, but he's a troll. So if the live streamer isn't really interested at all or don't even say anything or just treat him like a normal person, he'll usually just go and walk away. Like you ended up completing a QuickTime event and he goes and leave, and that's kind of like his online presence, and that's probably what he's going to be known for, but he seems to be 100% fine with it, and he was also able to get invited to a bunch of podcasts. This guy got absolutely nothing at all. No one is talking about him. He got absolutely no followers, and most people have literally no idea who he is. So he ended up getting both of the worst endings. One, he ended up interrupted an event, which, let's just be honest, it's just incredibly cringe if you do something like that. Yeah, even though the way how the Game Award kid do it was kind of funny, to be honest, since he was able to perfectly sneak his way into the crowd, and he was perfectly able to stand up on stage, and he even had enough respect to wait until the Game of the Year award was actually given out to do his thing. He still should have done it, and it's something extremely annoying. He wasn't even able to do that. He just got up out of nowhere and decided to say something about GTA 6. He wasn't even able to do it right and didn't even do it cool at all. Everyone on stage made fun of him, and he's going to be made fun of probably until the end of time, and he got absolutely zero clout from this situation. No one is following him. So he just absolutely failed. And obviously when this ended up coming out, a lot of internet detectives do what they do best and look inside of his past, and this isn't the first time he ended up doing something like this. He also walked on stage on another TV show and talked about the same thing, GTA 6, and also over there, absolutely no one cared. He ended up getting water sprayed on his face and just walked away, which is just absolutely amazing. You know, it's very nice to see people try to do stuff like this and it just absolutely fail, because I think more people need to know that these crazy stunts usually don't work. And I know when I say this, a lot of people are going to say, well, you're wrong. The Game Awards kid ended up doing that, and it seems like he was able to succeed. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, like, every one Game Awards kid, there's like thousands of other people who are trying to do the exact same things, and it fails drastically. You see this a lot, especially somewhere like on TikTok and Twitter. There's so much examples of people recorded TikToks doing something absolutely dangerous, but they just do it because they think they're going to go absolutely famous. And there's a lot of examples of people on Twitter who say something just absolutely crazy, basically just rage bait to get a lot of people angry so they can go and get a bunch of impressions. But most of the time, they fail, which is usually the good ending, because if you do something super embarrassing, you can completely walk away from it, because absolutely no one knows you did it, so you can just delete it, get rid of all the evidence, and go and move on. But if you actually try to do something like that and you fail, like this guy, you're basically going to be made fun of until the end of time. Anyway, this is just something that I want to talk about. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.